Good morning, Carson Olinger here with Capital City Equity Group here in Atlanta on the REI USA platform. Thank you for joining us. Today is, March 28th, I think it is, March 28th, 2022. My name is Carson Olinger. I am President and CEO of Capital City Equity Group here in the Atlanta metro area. My number, if you need to reach me, is 678-478-2230. My email, Carson Olinger at, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one, Carson at capcityeg.com. That's Carson at capcityeg.com. Please follow us. We're at Capital City Equity Group on Facebook, Carson Olinger on Facebook. I also have a YouTube page that you can follow all of our videos of flipping and instructional videos on how to flip houses and do all kinds of stuff in real estate. On my YouTube page is Carson Olinger. If you want to get involved with real estate and you want to have some deals sent to you, I would encourage you to go to our website, which is www.capcityeg.com, and sign up for our newsletter and all of our correspondence. So any deals that we get, wholesale deals, we'll send to you in the Atlanta area, and then also in we also do Tampa and the Charlotte area as well. So sign up there. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at the numbers I've given you. I also own and operate my own REIA, which is a real estate investment association called North Point REIA. We meet here in the Norcross area, just a suburb of Atlanta. We meet the last Wednesday of every month, and then we're actually meeting here at the end, actually this week on Wednesday, the 30th, which is in 2 days, from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at a restaurant called Zona Caribbean. You can find all that information on our Facebook page at North Point REIA. So this platform is the Georgia Supergroup. What is that? What is a supergroup? Well, the supergroup is a group of like-minded professionals in real estate that are wanting to learn about how to get into real estate, right? So you might be a engineer, you might be a plumber, you might be a real estate agent, you might be a stay-at-home mom, you might be a stay-at-home dad, I don't know. But whatever it is, you want to get into real estate. You may have a lot of questions, you may need a lot of answers. This is what this forum is for. So if you're just new to the REI USA platform, I encourage you to go back, look at the last 90 days, because we archive these for 90 days. So you can go back and see other things and you can watch them at your leisure. This is live now. So if you want to join us now, you can, and you can ask questions. And next month, actually in April, we're going to combine the Georgia Supergroup with the Walk the Flip that I do at 9 a.m. And we're going to move this meeting from 10 to 9 a.m. Eastern time. So we're going to combine both Walk the Flip and we're going to do the Georgia Supergroup in one meeting. So we'll be able to ask a lot of questions. I'll open the forum up. It'll be more in a meeting sense that we'll all actually have our videos up and we can see each other, and it'll be a little bit easier. So as we're waiting for people to join in, I was getting in here a little bit late for my other meeting, so I apologize, but we're going to wait for some other people to come on board. And a lot of times when we get a lot of people that watch this, after the fact, right, it's on recorded and stuff. So if that's the case, we'll just put the content on here and people can ask. But this platform really works if people get on board and ask questions in the live forum, because it puts things in perspective. It allows other people that might be a little more timid to ask questions and hear what needs to go on in a flip, or how to get into real estate, knock some of the dust off your shoulders. Or we just came out of the Walk the Flip, and a lady there was questioning whether she should flip a property or not. So we analyzed that deal, went through the whole thing to understand whether or not it was a good deal or not. So you can gain that perspective too. And that's what we're here for. We want to help you here at the REI USA platform. This model, this platform, if you will, has 25 different real estate coaches like myself that are doing different vertical markets within the real estate platform. So I'm doing flipping. We got other people doing short-term investing. We got other people doing short sales. We got other people doing subject to acquisitions, which I also do, but we all kind of gravitated to one thing, And that's what we do. So there's a lot of content here. There's a lot of opportunity. I would highly encourage you to explore what's on the platform and see what you need and what you can use to grow your business. Everything from accounting to the legal side, you name it. And then gather all that information from all the experts that we have on this platform. And then you can get started in your business. And we're also here to help. As a Georgia Supergroup leader, I'm here in Georgia. I'm in the Atlanta area, so I'm accessible. You can reach me directly on my cell at 678-478-2230. You can also reach out to me directly at carson@capcityeg.com. I'm all over Facebook at Carson Olinger. I'm all over Facebook on Capital City Equity Group. I've got my YouTube page, as I mentioned, so it goes on and on. I got the websites, so you can reach me. I'm a known quantity. I want to help you. Why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this for you. That's the simple answer, but why are we doing it for you? Well, the reason most of us are here is because we got here through our network of other investors in this world. They helped us. They helped us get here. I'm not a voracious reader. I don't like to sit down and read a book and go implement what the book said. I like to get out and do it, but I'm not an idiot. I realize that there's a lot of people out there that are smarter than me. And even though I've had the success that I've had and I am where I am, there are still a lot more people out there that are smarter than me. And I want to find those people and I want to work with those people and I want to learn from those people, because you always have to be learning. I don't care if you've done one deal or 500 deals. There's always a better way to do it or a different way to do it. And once you stop learning, you stop growing. And I'm a huge advocate and a proponent of surrounding yourself with a network of people that are smarter than you. So I've got one rule. When I go to all these meetings, I go to a lot of networking meetings. One of the rules I've always had is if I find myself the smartest guy in the room, I leave, because my time is valuable to me. And I've never left a meeting. Why? Because there's always somebody there that has something to give, something to share, something to learn from, because they've had an experience that you haven't had. Okay. I don't care how much knowledge you had, from fortune builders to Renatus to, reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, whatever you've done. If you just got $1 million in the bank, doesn't mean you know everything. You're just going to lose a lot more money than somebody else. So surround yourself with people that know more than you, that are willing to help you. It's kind of like paying it forward. I don't like calling it paying it back, because I didn't take anything. I'm not giving anything back. I'm kind of paying it forward, because you'll have opportunities to grow. And I think that's the mentality. I want to share, I want you to learn, and I want to help. And if I can grow in that way too, then we'll have a great relationship. So please reach out to me, Carson Olinger, if you have any questions. And thank you again for joining us here on the Georgia Super Group. So I just got off of a call from our previous Walk the Flip, and this is a perfect segue into what most real estate investors come across. The lady told me she had paralysis. She's sitting on the bench. I got to get off the bench. I got to get in the game. We got to do this. I put offers on this property, that property, this property. We got this one under contract, that one under contract. And they've all fallen apart. And I'm fed up. I got to get into this game. I got to do it. And this is the deal I'm going to do it on. So we're going to do this. So I started asking questions. And she asked a lot of the right questions too. Don't get me wrong. She sounded like she was a pretty smart lady. Her husband sounded like he was pretty smart, kind of gung ho, and they were ready to do this thing, right? So he has a lot of information, and he felt that this was a good thing to do. And she was a little more reluctant, because some of the pieces of the puzzle just weren't there. But her husband, who'd taken the real estate class, said, no, I think everything's there. We should go forward. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes your instincts are correct, sometimes they're not. And so we kind of looked at this thing, and my gut was telling me that this was not the right deal for them. Now, I didn't advise them to back out. That's not my place, but I just advised them of what I thought I would do. And in this case, I wouldn't have done that deal. It was too thin of a margin to make this profitable. So what is that margin? What is it that makes an opportunity a good deal? Because there's a lot of people say, I got this deal for you. I got this deal for you. Most times they're not deals. Okay. They're just opportunities. But because you're hungry and you want to go and do something so quickly, you call it a deal. So if I said, hey, I got this $50,000 car, I'm going to sell it to you for $55,000. It's a good deal. Is that really a good deal? No, it's not. It's still expensive. It's just an opportunity. Now we can negotiate, maybe get down below 50,000, but it's not a good deal. So be careful using the word deal versus opportunity. Hey, there's a house down the street from me. Looks like a great deal. Why is that? Well, the house has grown up. All the leaves are all in the gutters and the grass is high and no one's been living. It looks like a great deal. What are they selling the house for? Does the guy want to sell it? It's not a deal. It's an opportunity. So there's a difference. You follow me? So yeah, the grass has grown up. Yeah, there's leaves in the gutter. Well, first, does the owner want to sell it? I don't know. We got to find that out. So just because it looks ugly doesn't mean it's a deal. That's my point. So how do we determine what a good deal is? Well, there's a basic mathematical equation that we all use in this industry. Okay. Some are a little more conservative than others. Okay. I like to be conservative. Why? Because I want to ensure that when I put forth my money or my investors' money, that the deal is going to make money, bar none. There's no way the deal won't make money. So if things go south within the process, meaning things don't go as planned, we still make money, but we just didn't make as much money. Okay. But the other approach that I've had is with my heart. So there's usually people involved with this equation. Excuse me. They've got families and they're involved with the house. Maybe they're upside down. We need to help these people. That's what I'm here for. I want to provide a solution to their problem. That's the approach that I have with any deal that I deal with. Okay. I want to provide a solution. I want to make sure that they get what they want, create a win for them. And I want to create a win for me. It's got to be both, right? I can't just go and take advantage of people. Some people aren't as smart as others, and that's right. But it's not right to go and take advantage of them. So how do you do that ethically and morally? It's still get a good deal. You do that by providing a solution to their problem. Okay. If they've got the problem and you satisfy that problem, then you've created value for them. It may not be monetarily, but it might be a solution to get out of a house that they're upside down and it's eating them alive. A lot of people want to hold on to the house because there's value there. But in the interim, they're drowning in it because they can't afford it. That's more of a problem than it is an asset. So there's a balance there. And if you do things ethically and morally and honestly, you'll do fine. And that's our approach here at Capital City Equity Group. So with all that being said, how do you analyze a deal? So the basic math on any of this, write this down if you've got a pen and paper or a pencil and paper, it doesn't matter. ARV, which stands for after rehab value, ARV, after rehab value. That means I found the ugly house, I fixed the ugly house up, it's all pretty and painted, it's ready to go on the market, and it's the best looking house on the street. After the rehab, what would that house sell for? We're trying to predict what that is now before we buy it, before we fix it up, before we put it on the market to sell. So we have to do a comparative analysis of the houses in the area. So we look at houses that have sold. Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, these are not comps. Did you hear me? Zillow and Redfin are not comps. Don't ever use them. Okay. They're not right. They're usually always wrong. And secondarily, it doesn't give you any credibility when you tell someone, well, Zillow said this. Well, that means you don't know what you're doing. Talk to an agent, find out what the comps are. If you are an agent, obviously use the MLS, the FMLS to find out what comps are in that area. So once you establish the ARV, let's just call it $300,000. Okay. So you got $300,000. That means we can sell this house more than likely, conservatively, in this market, whatever the market's doing, at $300,000. You might get a little bit more, especially in this market, right? But we're not going to say, hey, it's 300, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get 350 because somebody's going to overbid. Don't do that. What would the house sell for all day, every day? If someone overbids, that's icing on the cake, right? Use the ARV, what you know you're going to get all day, every day. Okay. So in this case, let's just call it 300. It might go for 340. I don't know, but 300 is the number we're going to use. So the $300,000 ARV. So if I know that, now I need to understand what my rehab is going to be. I got to do a cosmetic rehab in this 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house on a basement. All right. So that $300,000 house is going to be around $50,000 in rehab, right? 50 grand. Carpet, paint, that's new air conditioner, maybe a new roof, new bathrooms, fixtures, granite, all the stuff, lights, door handles, you name it, exterior paint, landscaping. Okay, then we got our holding costs. How long are we going to be holding it? 2, 3, 4 months. You got insurance, you got power, water, you got closing costs on the front end, 3, 4 grand to close it. You got taxes you're going to pay, insurance you got to pay. And then at the end, you're going to sell the house for 300. You're going to get out, 6% to your real estate agents. So all of these things are factored in. So we got a $50,000 rehab. So now our math comes into play. $300,000. Subtract 25%, right? So take your calculator, take 300,000, subtract 25%. That gets us $225,000. Okay. Now we take out another, what did we say the rehab was? 50,000, right? So subtract 50,000 from that, we're at 175. So we need to be buying that house at approximately $175,000 in order to do a $50,000 rehab and be profitable when we sell it at 300. Carson, man, how are you buying houses at 55% of their value? There's no way. We can't find deals like that. And they are tough, but that's what a good deal looks like. Can't tell you anything different. Will people buy that $300,000 house with a $50,000 rehab for $225,000? Yeah, they will. And they'll make 5 grand, 10 grand, and they'll move on to the next deal because they have to have a deal. That's where people wind up getting screwed. No pun intended here. They will wind up hurt because maybe everything works great on this one. And the next one they buy on that thin, razor thin margin, one thing goes wrong, and now they're upside down. I can tell you with 100% assurance, I've never lost a single penny on any deal I've ever done, period. Ever. And I don't plan on it. This business is not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Okay. But it's also making sure you don't lose anything. Why? Because in order to grow this business, you got to be bigger than yourself. You got to allow other people into your equation. And in doing so, you want their money to work for you, but also give them a solid rate of return in a secure position. Okay. And that's what we do. We solicit other people's money so they can take their money, bring it to us. We invest it for them in the deals that we do, and we make them high rates of return in a secured position. And we show them the math of how that's going to work. So they know beyond a shadow of a doubt, even if the thing goes completely sideways, they still make money. But instead of me making 50 grand, I may only make 10, but I still have enough room, cushion to allow those mistakes to happen if something unforeseen does happen. So it's a pretty solid deal. You start getting into these thinner deals like ARV of 300 with a $50,000 rehab, that's 250. We're buying it at 2.25. It doesn't give you much room. And here's why. So let's take our calculators out again. And let's walk it backwards the other way. Okay. So at $300,000, okay, I'm looking down at my calculator here. At $300,000, when we go to sell it, okay, we have to pay our agent, right? And the other agent. That's usually about 6%. Now you may be saying, well, I am an agent, I get to keep that. Well, that's great. But for the sake of discussion, we're going to assume that you're not an agent. So minus 6%, now you're at $282,000. Okay, that's just paying the commission, right? Now keep in mind, there's a guy out there that just bought this house for 225, and he's got to put 50 in it. Okay, 225 is what he's at. So he's selling it for 300, got 282 after paying 6%. Well, remember when he bought the house at 225, he had to pay closing costs. And a house that size, probably about $3,500 in closing costs. So let's subtract that out to recapture our money, minus 3,500. Okay. Now we're at 278.5. All right. Now you just had a rehab of $50,000, but let's say he did that really thin and he did it for 40,000. He's better than me. So subtract 40,000. Now we're at $238,500. Okay. He bought it for 225. Okay. Now it took him 3 months to flip the house. Let's say he did it really fast, cut a lot of corners, and he did it in 2. Okay. So he finished the house in 2 months. Then he sold it. It went on the market. It takes about a month from the time a buyer signs to the time they can close, because the bank's got to go through all their stuff. So he's paying the mortgage on it for 3 months, paying the power bill for 3 months. He's paying the electric bill. He's paying the insurance. He's paying all that other stuff. So let's say on a property like that, he's running, I don't know, $2,000 a month. 3 months, $6,000. Subtract that out. Okay. Now he's at $232,500. Okay. He paid $225 for the house. He made $7,500 on that flip with a $225,000 investment plus another $50,000 in expenses that he recuperated. So just take the 225, 7,500 divided by 225. He made 3.3% rate of return. I got CDs that are making more than that. Is that what you want to be doing? But there were people that will buy that house at 225 and cut all the corners they want, and they don't understand the math. So when I said ARV minus 25%, well, people say, whoa, why 25%? What is that number? What is 25%? That's just this random number, is it not? No, there's logic to that number. So we just talked about a couple of things. We talked about your real estate agent, 6%. We talked about your closing costs, $3,500. We talked about your carrying costs, in this case, $6,000, right? We talked about, what else did we talk about in there? Rehab, 40,000, right? So you got carrying costs, you got operational costs, you got selling costs, you got all those things that go into it. But you also have your profit. Okay. So if you look at the 6% and everything else, so you look at 300 minus 6%, okay, that's $18,000. Okay. So I'm going to write that down because that's an expense we're dealing with. Okay. Now I'm going to look at my holding costs. We said $2,000 a month at 3 months, $6,000 for that. Okay. That includes our insurance, our power, our water, and our carrying cost on the mortgage that we just took out, right? All right. Then we got $3,500 in closing costs we took out. Okay. So all told, with just those costs alone, right? You got 3,500 plus 6,000 plus 18,000. You got $27,500 just in costs of selling and acquiring and holding the house, right? So we talked about 300,000 minus 25%. So what is that? 300,000 minus 25% is 225. So that's $75,000 that goes out the window. But what did we just determine? That of that $75,000, 27,500 of that is your operational expenses, holding costs, your transaction costs of acquiring the deal, and your selling costs, right? 27,500. So that leaves us a net of $47,500. That represents your profit. Okay, that's your profit. Okay, now some people say that's a lot of money to make on a deal. Well, let's put that in perspective. So here we are with 47,500 in net profit, or gross profit, I should say. It's your gross profit. So walk that backwards. Now we talked about the 25%, right? So we got 27,500 in selling or transactional and selling and holding costs. So 300,000 minus 27,500 minus the $50,000 rehab gives us a price of $222,500. Okay. No profit there yet. That's just rehab at 50 and holding transactional selling costs of 27,500. Okay. So you got 77,500. Right. Now you're at 22,500. Now you need your profit out of there. We just talked about our profit at 47,500 minus 47,500. That puts us at 175. So let's do our math again. 300,000 minus 25% minus 50,000 is 175. That's why we use 25%. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. Hopefully that helps you understand a deal. Now, if the deal's a little bit further out in the suburbs or way up in the mountains where your buying pool is smaller, you don't have as many people to sell to, or your contractor pool is smaller, meaning there's not a lot of contractors, or it takes longer to get materials, then maybe you do ARV minus 30%. Okay. Now there's some people that use the 30% across the board because they want to pad that number. But now, what does that $47,500 of profit look like? So we bought it for $225. So 47,500 profit divided by 225. That's a 21% profit margin. That's where I like to operate, 18 to 20%. Okay. That's where I want to be. Why? Why do I want to be there? Why not 8? Why not 5? I can get 8 to 10% in the stock market all day long. But Carson, you're going to walk away from deals. Well, if I'm making 15%, I might consider it. But the fact of the matter is, if something goes wrong and you're at 8% profit margin, now you're upside down. You have no room for error. Okay. And something is always going to go wrong. Is it going to be catastrophic? Absolutely not. Case in point, I'm flipping a house up here in Gainesville, Georgia. We're a month behind schedule. Why? Weather issues. We had a contractor basically change his mind and not take the job. That we lost 2 weeks with him. Things can happen. Nothing that we did wrong. It's just the weather got in the way, and we had a couple of guys that just decided they didn't want to do it due to COVID or family issues or whatever. Things I can't control. Now imagine if we found a foundation issue. Imagine if we found, oh my gosh, we didn't see that. Now we got $60,000 on top of the lost time, or $50,000 or whatever. Now you're upside down. We don't do that. I've got profit in here. Do I know I could take this thing out a year and be $50,000 over budget and still make money? Okay. I don't make as much, but I didn't lose any money. And most importantly, my investors who put money into the deal are guaranteed to make money. Why? Because I showed them how they couldn't lose money. Okay. So that's what we're talking about here. So that's really all I've got for today. I want you to encourage yourself. I want to encourage you to look these things up, understand it. If you don't know how to find a person to go out and help you, then reach out to me. I might be able to do so through a video, but you need to find a way to understand the ARV, and you need to understand how to find a way to cost out your rehab. Okay. So thank you for joining us. Once again, this is Carson Olinger. I am host of the REI USA platform with the Georgia Super Group. We meet here at 10 o'clock. However, going forward in the next month on April, I think we're combining this class with my other class, which is the Walk the Flip at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So please join us there. It will be more of an open format to where we'll have a meeting concept instead of a webinar. So you'll be engaged with video and audio, and we'll be able to ask some more specific questions. The idea behind this is we want to give you some content, some instruction to help go out and learn how to flip, but you need to do it with confidence, and you need to do it with intelligence. This is the community to surround yourself with and do that with. If you need to reach me, once again, Carson Olinger, 678-478-2230. My email is carson@capcityeg.com. Capital City Equity Group is my company, and we can be reached at www.capcityeg.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. I got my YouTube channel under Carson Olinger, and I also own and operate my own REIA here in Norcross called North Point REIA. We meet the last Wednesday of every month in person. We bring in other people outside of my company to instruct you and give you education on different aspects of real estate, from Airbnb, Airbnb, short-term rentals, short sales, foreclosures. We have attorneys come in, talk about the legalities, accountants come in, we have insurance, we have everybody, you name it. If it's whatever's involved with real estate, we bring speakers in to talk about and educate you so that you can walk out of our meeting, hopefully with something you can put to work. Thanks for joining us here at the Georgia Super Group on REI USA. I appreciate you joining us. My name is Carson Olinger. I'm going to go get to work. Appreciate it. Take care.